Yo, V-Rob here. Today we'll be going on, as you guys can see by the title of this video, we'll be talking about my 10 bold predictions for the remainder of this NBA season. We have less than 2 months now. The NBA playoffs start April 16th. The first round of the playoffs starts on April 16th, ladies and gentlemen. I'm recording this on February 17th. We have less than 2 months to the NBA playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. Teams around the league have about 28 to 30 games left, so there is still a lot of basketball left to be played, about a third of the season left, you guys. But I'll be giving you guys 10 bold predictions throughout the league that I have for teams that might make the playoffs, someone that might win an MVP award, someone that might not come back from injury. So I'll break all that down, you guys. Without further ado, let's get it, let's go, and let's start off with number 10. These are going to go in order of significance, you guys, meaning how much of a factor will this play for the rest of the league. Starting off with number 10, we have Steph Curry will not come back to play any games this season, and the Golden State Warriors will finish last in the Western Conference and have the worst record throughout the entire league, giving them the best odds to land the #1 overall pick, which in my opinion will be LaMelo Ball. Or if they trade it somewhere, LaMelo might go there, or if they even win the lottery. But fam, I make this prediction because Steph Curry injured or broke his hand on October 31st, 2019. And to be honest with you guys, in my opinion, for a broken hand, you should be back by now. We have seen players come back from a broken hand in about 4 weeks, maybe it's 8 weeks, but Steph Curry is going on a point, you guys, where it's almost been 4 months since his injury, you guys. At the very most, I've seen players take about 2 to 3 months to come back, not 4 months, you guys. And I think he looks at it from this perspective. If I'm Steph Curry, you know, unanimous MVP, blew a 3-1 lead to LeBron James, had to get Kevin Durant. Yo, before we continue this video, guys, make sure to leave a like on this video. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Your support on this channel is so greatly appreciated, you guys. I cannot thank all of you guys enough for all the success that we have had on the channel. Working with ESPN, working with Chance the Rapper, working with Disney, working with SeatGeek. It has been a blessing. And thank you guys so much for being on this journey. If you guys would like to join the journey with us, make sure to hit that subscribe button and enjoy the rest of this video. The team is the worst team in basketball. If I come back, that gives us worse odds to land the #1 overall pick if we start winning games. We're doing just fine right now to put us in a position where we will have the best odds to land the #1 pick in the lottery. Why would I come back and screw things up? And put me in a position where we are playing meaningless basketball and an opportunity for me to get injured when it has there's no factors that play in this, you guys. They're not going to make the playoffs even if Steph Curry comes back. It's not like they're going to go 30-0 in their last 30 games, you guys. So the Golden State Warriors, in my opinion, will have the worst record at the end of the NBA season and finish with the highest odds to land the #1 pick. And Steph Curry and Klay Thompson will not see a minute this year for the rest of the year. Number 2, everyone has been talking about this man through his first 11 games, who's been playing absolutely amazing, averaging 21, 7, and 7. We have Zion Williamson, who will make a very strong case for Rookie of the Year. If he plays out the rest of the season, he will still play less than even half of the games this year. But if he keeps playing like this, you guys, I think the argument for Ja Morant is currently leading the Grizzlies to the #8 seed in the Western Conference. If they make the playoffs, you guys, I think it's clear-cut. You got to give it to Ja Morant. I did not expect the Grizzlies to be this good. Shout out to my friend Josh one time. He told me at lunch one day that they're going to make the playoffs in September, or at least fight for it. I'm like, there's no way, bro. But with Dylan Brooks and the squad that they got, you guys, they have a very young, talented team. And I thought it was going to be their year. I thought it'd be a couple years till they start competing for a playoff spot. It's already this year. But if he makes the playoffs, guys, I think you do give it to Ja Morant. But if Zion keeps putting up numbers where he's averaging close to 22 points a night, averaging close to 8 rebounds, 8 assists, how do you not make that an argument? It goes to the factor. Would you rather have someone who's averaging 18 a game but plays the whole year, or you get someone like Zion Williamson who's playing like an all-star for only half of the season? I think, like I said, what will determine Rookie of the Year will be the placing spots for their respective teams. If the Pelicans finish like 12 or 13, I don't think you can give it to them. They have been winning more and more a little bit. But then you look at what the Grizzlies have been doing, how successful they have been. I think you give it to Ja Morant, but I think Zion's going to make it very tight. I think he's going to finish with some all-star type numbers like he already is right now. And I think he'll definitely be an all-star by next year. Number 3, you guys have seen the San Antonio Spurs struggles this year. What we thought would be a great bench just hasn't been that productive this year. DeMar DeRozan on his final year of his contract just hasn't been the player that we expected him to be. I don't think people got a lot of expectations for this team, but being the San Antonio Spurs, we just kind of expect them to make the playoffs for every single year. I mean, they've been there for over the last 2 decades, but this looks like the first time in 2 decades that Greg Popovich will not be coaching a team in the NBA playoffs, and I think it will be his last year, you guys. I think they're in a position where they have Tim Duncan on the coaching staff. They have the female coach, I forget her name, but she's been an excellent coach from what I heard from the coaching staff, from the players' perspective. It would be amazing to see Greg Popovich hand the torch down to the first ever female head coach in the NBA. I could definitely see that. Greg Popovich is such an advocate for inclusion, such an advocate for equal rights for women and men. I could definitely see Greg Popovich being the first coach to hand the torch down to a female coach, to be the first head coach in basketball. But I think it's going to be Pop's last year, you guys. He did lose his wife last year, so I know he's going through a lot, especially the loss of Kobe really affected him. I think he's at a point where, you guys, he just is like, I've already won 5 championships. This team isn't going to get much better. We're not going to land a big-name free agent anytime soon. We lost Kawhi. I think it's time to hang it up. Number 4, all right, John Wall, ladies and gentlemen. From what I've seen the highlights of, he's been doing some pretty nice dunks, looking very athletic in the pregame works that he's done before every game. In my opinion, John Wall makes a return in March. His timetable is sometime around February, March, and April. I think he makes a return in March. And the way that Bradley Beal has been playing right now, averaging 29 points per game. Fam, averaging 29 points per game. The most points per game for any person going into the All-Star break that wasn't voted into the All-Star game. I think it is beyond disrespectful that the coaches didn't vote him in as a reserve. But the way that he has been playing, you guys, they are currently tied for the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference with the Orlando Magic. I think because of Bradley Beal and because of the return of John Wall, they will carry this team into the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference playoffs. And then they get to play Milwaukee, which, like, that would be a quick series. But still, for the Wizards to make the playoffs, you guys, that'd be a huge deal for that franchise who's had so many ups and downs, you guys. Over the last few years, it's been a downward spiral. So for them to make the playoffs this year, you guys, with this young team that they got with Bradley Beal playing amazing, averaging 29 a game, and you bring back John Wall, if he comes back and is still somewhere near, or if he's at the All-Star level like we have seen John Wall play in like 2014 and 15, they will definitely make the playoffs, you guys. And I think it would be a quick series, but it'd be an interesting series with Milwaukee. As much as I want to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies make the playoffs, you guys, my number 5 bold prediction is that the Portland Trailblazers make the playoffs. They are currently 4 games back of the 8th seed, the Memphis Grizzlies. They did lose to them going into the All-Star break, but I think you look at what Damian Lillard is doing this year, and Carmelo Anthony is playing pretty well as well. CJ McCollum has to step it up. It's been rumored that Yusuf Nurkic may return in March or April. If they can get Yusuf Nurkic back and he can slowly get into the rotation again, because he played a big factor for them last year, I truly believe Damian Lillard will carry this team back into the playoffs after making the Western Conference Finals last year. But going back into the playoffs, and they'll likely play the Lakers in the first round. I personally would love to see Zion against LeBron in the first round. I think from a box office standpoint, that would be amazing coverage for the NBA. But I think Lillard's going to do it, y'all. I truly think Lillard has the ability to keep this run going, averaging over 30 a game for these last 30 plus around 30 games of the season, and carry this team to the playoffs. All right, y'all, number 6. This is when it starts to get a little competitive. These are talking about the top tier teams in the league. Number 6, I have the Clippers getting the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. Currently, it is the Denver Nuggets, but I feel the Clippers are only going to get healthier. Hopefully, Paul George starts to play more games. He's had some problems with his leg and whatnot throughout the year, but I feel Marcus Morris will get better and better involved in that lineup, and they will get the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. Number 7, as much as this hurts me to say, Giannis Antetokounmpo, because of having the best team in the league, for averaging over 30 points per game, having an amazing season, Giannis Antetokounmpo will win back-to-back MVP regular season awards. Number 8, staying on the Giannis train, you guys, I had the Milwaukee Bucks winning 70 games this year. We have not seen a team win 70 games in a season since the 2016 Golden State Warriors. I see the Milwaukee Bucks going in their last 28 games, finishing at a record of 24-4, which would put them at 70-12. The way that they've been playing both sides of the ball, Chris Middleton has been playing amazing. They've gotten so much production, also from Eric Bledsoe, other guards, and I've just been so impressed with this team, you guys, from a spacing standpoint, from an athleticism standpoint. It seems like they have such good team chemistry, and I see them finishing as the best record in the league with 70 wins in the regular season. But like I said, back in 2016, all those wins are great, but it don't mean anything without a ring, yo. Number 9, we got the Lakers. Number 9, this ain't bold at all. We got the Lakers finishing number 1 in the Western Conference. They currently have a 4-game lead in front of the Nuggets. They have a very difficult schedule. I'm not going to lie to you guys. They have a tough schedule to end out the year. They got games against the Celtics. They got the Bucks. They got a game against the Rockets. They got 2 games against the Clippers. They play damn near all the top tier teams at least one more time. But I feel with LeBron James playing the way he is, the way Anthony Davis has been playing, the way that the bench has picked up their game, and each night you have Dwight Howard playing well, or you have KCP playing well, or you have Rondo playing well, or you have Kuzma playing well. At least one of those players will step up each night, and I see them finishing number 1 in the Western Conference after not getting 40 wins. You guys, the Lakers have not had 40 plus wins in the last 6 years, y'all. You go from that to then being the number 1 seed. Shout out to LeBron, shout out to AD, shout out to Rob Pelinka one time. Finally, I gotta say this one, I gotta say this one for my number 1 bold prediction. And like I said, it went from least impactful to most impactful. My final bold prediction for the remainder of the season: DeMarcus Cousins will come back before the playoffs. Frank Vogel was talking about at All-Star Weekend the expectancy for DeMarcus Cousins to come back and play for this team. He said he is en route to be back around the playoffs. If DeMarcus Cousins can come back before the playoffs, say a week or 2, and get involved in the rotation, you guys. Yes, they do play 3 big men right now with Anthony Davis, JaVale McGee, and Dwight Howard. But you add DeMarcus Cousins to that rotation. Obviously, JaVale and Dwight will lose minutes. But the duo or the trio of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and DeMarcus Cousins. Fam, you are not losing. You are not losing a rebound battle any game with those 3. If you start DeMarcus Cousins in that starting lineup, it adds so much more shooting, so much more spacing, better rebounding, even though they're a top 3 team in rebounding this year, you guys. It will be unreal, and I truly think he can come back, you guys. He's been looking better and better in his pregame warm-up, shooting the ball, running. I've been very impressed to see his trajectory making a return this regular season. But that is what I got, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe. If you guys are new, thank you guys so much. Love sport. Cannot thank you guys enough. Stay blessed. All love 2020. Keep being yourself. Keep being who you are. Viral Wave is here. Thank you guys so much for your support. Stay blessed. Trust God. Trust yourself. And it's all love. Viral is at the sing. Like show. Let's get it. Let's go.